Curious to hear it.
People like you seem to like him.
Are you out of your mind? Do you know people like me? People like me escape the bullshit of people like you that bought into the games being played against guys like him.
I think you're what makes this country great, and I can't figure out why someone as smart as you.
Do you want me to explain to you why? It's not. But wait a minute. You make it seem like this is a Trump podcast.
No, it's not. But like, I don't understand. Forgive me.
Yeah.
The way I look at him is binary. I can't look at him and see good things.
Patrick Bet-David continues his rampage, this time on the Valuetainment YouTube channel on the PBD Podcast. Patrick Bet-David brings on a former CIA agent who comes at Patrick Bet-David, tries to attack PBD and the rest of the podcast panel for supporting Donald Trump and saying that this CIA agent doesn't like Donald Trump because of people like Patrick Bet-David. And of course, Patrick Bet-David puts him in his place. Let's get into this clip here from the Valuetainment YouTube channel and the PBD Podcast of PBD shutting down this woke CIA agent idiot.
Curious to hear it.
People like you seem to like him.
Are you out of your mind? Do you know people like me? People like me escape the bullshit of people like you that bought into the games being played against guys like him.
I think you're what makes this country great, and I can't figure out why someone as smart as you.
Do you want me to explain to you why? It's not. But wait a minute. You make it seem like this is a Trump podcast.
No, it's not. But like, I don't understand. Forgive me.
Yeah.
The way I look at him is binary. I can't look at him and see good things.
If you enjoy content like this, then make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It really does help me out a ton. Let's get back to the video.
I can look at Obama and see good things. I can look at Biden and see good things. I can look at Bill Clinton and see good things.
Then you're better than I am.
It's not about being better than you are, buddy. It's not about that. I love America. And I don't look at people from the standpoint. I've sit down with mobsters, gangsters. I've sit down with, communists. I love talking to communists because it's a great conversation for me. I don't sit there and say, I hate this guy. See, the challenge with your side, because you sound like a broken record right now, as if it's CNN or MSNBC. Do you know what happened to their ratings when the world found out they were full of shit with Russia? Go look at their ratings. Go look at their ratings the week after the world found out this entire dossier was funded by a lady named Hillary Clinton. What happened to the ratings afterwards? You know why? Because Americans were sitting there saying, we believed you. Schiff, we believed you guys. Cuomo, we believed you. Lamont, we believed you. Cooper, we believed you, and you fooled us. And now Brian Williams, who's a guy that interviewed you, says what? I'm done with this. I'm worried because of what's going on to America today. And he's stepping away. So for me, when it comes down to guys that come out and say things like that about Trump and Russia, oh my gosh, tell me one president. First of all, let's put the truth out there. Has this been a guy that his entire life has been a master troll and a bully?
Yeah.
Yes, I don't disagree. Has this been a guy that came from the streets of New York where negotiations are all hardcore and you got to go against other guys that are also hardcore because New York's DNA is like you are? This is what I like. Is that how New York is?
Yes.
This is New York's DNA. America's not Matt Zeller.
No.
America's not Chris Christie.
No.
America's not Hillary Clinton nor Trump. America's not Cuomo. America is more Tyler. America is more just a regular person that loves his country, right?
Right.
Okay. And then you come out.
It 100% is. Patrick Bet-David spot on there. And what's happened since the whole 2020 incidents, what's happened since, like Patrick Bet-David is saying, all these people, all these woke news outlets have been lying to us over and over and over again. That has woken up the regular person. People like Joe Rogan, who have been on the fence of left and right, leaning more liberal, still to this day leaning more liberal. Russell Brand, people who are on the fence of left and right, started off far left and then started to make his way over to the right as he realizes he's been lied to so much. All of these normal people, quote unquote, normal, regular people with large audiences of regular, normal people have woken up to the lies and the BS that people are getting fed. So now you have all these normal people who are awake and who know that we're getting fed lies from the government. We're getting fed lies from, CNN, MSNBC, all these woke news outlets, including all the woke YouTubers out there and shows like The View and Bill Maher and all that stuff. And then you have podcasts like Valuetainment, like the PBD Podcast, and this wakes up like regular, normal people. And so that's why Donald Trump has so much support, is because all of these regular, normal people have gotten woken up after the government lies to us and the woke media lies to us, and the lies just come out so blatantly now because they don't even care anymore about getting caught. They just lie blatantly knowing that we're going to figure out it's a lie later. But now all these regular people are woken up and Trump is a regular dude. He is someone who has always been just a normal, regular dude. Obviously, he has a lot of money, more money than most people, but he acts as if he's a normal dude. And now that all these people are starting to wake up that are normal dudes, they like Donald Trump, obviously, because they relate to him the most.
And he say Russia, 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 Russia. When this guy was president, let me tell you what policies I like. I go policies. If you want to talk emotion, personality, you can hate that guy's personality. You can sit there and say, this guy knows the hell out of me. I know people that hate Obama. Every Obama interview I've ever watched, whether it's with Leno, whether it's with whoever, I've never seen an interview where I didn't like hearing him speak. I would say I'd love to watch a game with this guy. Doesn't mean I agree with his policies. So the emotions I pull out and I say, okay, let's look at policies. When this guy took office, he was the first guy that was not afraid of facing off China. First guy that said, you want to do this? Tariff. You want to do this? Tariff. You want to do this? Tariff. Look where we are today. These barrels that we were getting from China that was $2,500 a pop, now it's what? Containers. $40,000 a container. You think he would let them charge $40,000 today? Hell to the no. But Biden says what? End of message. End of message. What end of message? You're giving a speech on the guy that passed away. End of message. Trump stood up against China. Trump was willing to sit down with these guys, negotiate. Trump did Palestine and Israel. Like that's ridiculous to be able to do what he did 25 years. Economy was doing good for whites, blacks, Asians, Hispanics, women, everybody. But media hated this guy. Why? Because he called that bullshit. And that's his flaw. His fault was the following. If somebody as an advisor gives him a fault, it's the following. Charles Barkley said this the other day. Kevin Durant asked him, said, how come you're not on Twitter? He says, you know why I'm not on Twitter? He says, why? He says, because I'm old school. If I'm on Twitter and people talk shit to me, I feel like it's my responsibility to respond back. That's Barkley. Guess what? That's Trump. Trump needs to avoid 99% of the shit people say to him, and you just focus on the 1%. He wanted to fight everybody, and he made his life a living hell. That's on him. But that's how he's wired. That comes with the territory. But to say the guy's a Russian asset, Matt, I mean, you can say you disagree with his policies. You can say, Stormy Daniels, McDougal. You can say grab him by this with the Bush story. You can say McCain, which was an absolute, to me, what the hell are you doing going after somebody, POW? This guy served the military. You don't have the right to call out another military person. How come all these generals you don't get along with? What happened with Mattis? I get Milley. I get some of these guys. But what happened with some of these other guys? Of course, all of that stuff, fully agree. I totally get it. But to sit there and just put it all blanket. Hillary Clinton just came out and said the following. She said, I don't know if you guys read this or not. Hillary Clinton warns 2024 presidential election could be the end of democracy. National Review. Hillary Clinton warned that former President Trump is poised to run for election 2024 and said that if he wins, American democracy will suffer irreparable damages. If I were a betting person right now, I'd say Trump's going to run again. I think that would be the end of our democracy. Not to be point about it, but I want people to understand that this could be a make it or break it point. If you are someone of his ilk were once again to be elected president, especially if he had a Congress that would be doing his bidding, you would not recognize our country. For many outside.
Yeah, and what she means by him or someone of his ilk is Republican candidate. If a Republican wins, it's the end of democracy. Like, they just have to keep one-upping themselves. I wonder what they're going to come up with next, like after the threat to democracy stuff dies and like after that doesn't work. Let's say Trump wins this next election and they have to level up the fear-mongering for the next one, the 2028 election. What are they going to say? Like, Vivek Ramaswamy is colluding with aliens, and if Vivek wins, then there's going to be an alien invasion. They're going to take over the United States. Like, what is next? What's next up? And then it is scary as well that someone who was a former CIA agent can get also affected and completely consumed by the same brainwashing that you would expect would win over weak-minded individuals, right? It's pretty easy to brainwash a lot of weak-minded individuals. They all have TikTok brain. They're all brain rotted. Like, it's pretty easy to win those people over. But to win over a former CIA agent and have him buy into the whole collusion with that certain country, like to have a CIA agent fully buy into the fact that Trump is colluding with other countries to overthrow the government and be a threat to democracy and, the convicted felon stuff. He is buying into that stuff as CIA agent. I don't buy it. I don't think he is. I think he is part of a misinformation / disinformation campaign paid for by the government. And I think it's pretty obvious that he is. There's no way that a CIA agent is buying into that brainwashing. There's just no way. Let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree with that. I think he's probably part of the disinformation campaign that Hillary Clinton's a part of, that all the leftists and all the Democrats are a part of, that are saying if Donald Trump wins, it's going to be the end of democracy, the end of the country as we know it. Come on, give me a break, man. This guy's not buying into that stuff. You're an adult. You're like, if you have a fully functioning brain, you're not going to buy into this. The only people who buy into this are idiots who are on TikTok all day. And number two, people who want to buy into it because they already don't like Donald Trump, and it's just confirmation bias that, oh, look, this narrative also goes with my narrative that I already think in my head that I don't like Donald Trump for mean tweets or whatever. So I'm going to go ahead and just keep perpetuating the idea that he's colluding with other countries to take down our democracy. Like, come on, dude. It's so obvious what's happening.
Observers, it looks as though Trump is gearing up to launch a campaign for 2024. 90% chance this guy's running. You know it, I know it. He's going to be running. But
I agree with what she said, by the way. I think it is, if he wins, it'll be the end of our democracy. We are not a functioning, by the way, we're not a functioning democracy right now.
No, people said if people
on a federal level.
We're not,
people said if Obama gets elected, communism's here.
But we're not a functioning democracy anymore on a federal level. We're not.
Okay.
We absolutely are not.
Unpack that.
Okay, so how to begin?
Enter all the comments saying, we were never a democracy, we were a democratic republic. Yeah, you sound so smart. Here's your cookie. Here's your cookie, man. You sound so smart. You watched one Tim Pool episode, and now you think that you sound so smart when you say that. Like, I just, I know that you're disagreeing with this guy, who I also don't like, but those people who are like, actually, we were never a democracy, we were a democratic republic always. It's like, okay, you're very smart. Congratulations. You watched the Tim Pool episode.
You have one political party, again, that is a cult of personality. Okay. They do whatever Donald Trump wants. There's no party platform anymore, right? There's just whatever Trump wants. And I know that you keep saying he's not a Russian asset, but why did the Republican Party change the platform at the Republican Party convention in 2016 when it came to Ukraine once he took the nomination? Why was it that was changed? Why did he try to pull us out of NATO? I'm sorry. You had everything the one thing that you never said to me that explained his Russian policy.
Because, dude, it's so crazy how everything that they don't agree with, that the leftists don't agree with, they're now not saying that it's wrong. They just say, oh, that's anti-Semitic. Oh, that's Russia collusion. Like, they just have these labels that it's like, they don't ever have to say, I disagree with that anymore. They just give it this other label. That's like, oh, that's racist. That's sexist. That's anti-Semitic. That's Russia collusion. Like, no, maybe there's a tactical reason to pull us out of NATO. Maybe, just throwing this out there. If he would have actually successfully pulled us out of NATO, there wouldn't be this money suck that's going to Ukraine right now, that's taking all the Americans, American tax dollars and funding it, funneling it over to Ukraine and funneling it over to the Middle East. At least they would have cut off the Ukraine part, and we wouldn't be wasting money over there in a war that has nothing to do with us. At least that wouldn't be happening. It's a smart idea, in my opinion, but they just don't like it. So they call it Russia collusion. They call it anti-Semitic. They call it racist, sexist, whatever istophobe you want to throw on it. All they have to do is throw it on there, and they don't actually have to back up their points. They can just call it those things, and that way they don't have to say, no, I disagree, and you can't ask why. You just say, oh, that's racist, and that's it. End of conversation. Let me know in the comments what you think about Patrick Bet-David destroying this woke lunatic, this former CIA agent, live on the PBD Podcast and the Valuetainment YouTube channel. Let me know in the comments what you think about this whole PBD versus this CIA agent situation.